In the latest trailer for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a brand new unknown character was introduced, and I think I know who it is. This character seems to be some sort of deity and has been shown in some of the wall art, and they have been portrayed with long pointed ears, long hair, triangles under their eyes, and they don't seem human. Many fans have thought that the character looks similar to an owl, and that leads us to possibility number 1 of the identity of this being, the Sage Rauru, or as are better known, Kapora Kapora. For people who didn't know, the Sage of the Light, known as Rauru, is the owl that we see in Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and even possibly Link's Awakening, and they turn into said owl when they leave a sacred realm. Other similarities in this character that we can compare to Kapora Kapora, such as if we interpreted the ears as the eyebrows on Kapora Kapora, they can match as their eyebrows are pointy in games such as Ocarina of Time. This, however, is where the similarities end and why I do not think Kapora Kapora is this character. The deity is shown with hands, the markings do not fit, and personally I do not see any real other connection or similarities between them. For years after the launch of Breath of the Wild, an ancient tribe have been heavily spoken and theorized about, known as Zonai, and through trailers of Tears of the Kingdom, it is shown that this tribe might have a bigger part to play in this game than before. And this brings us up to possibility number 2 for the identity of this figure, the deity of the Zonai. As not much is known about this sacred tribe, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to suggest that this figure could be a brand new entity not seen before in Zelda history. Perhaps they are one we are going to be seeing through the means of time travelling, similar to Zelda's journey in Skyward Sword, to get our memories of being Hylia back. My one problem with this theory is that the Zonai seem to be strongly linked with dragons through their multiple dragon pillars surrounding the land, so it would make more sense for their deity to be one of the ancient dragons that we see roaming around Hyrule in Breath of the Wild. If that's the case, and this is not a Zonai god, surely this means that the figure cannot be a god, as it is not possible for it to be one of the Hylian goddesses, can it? This moves us on to possibility number 3, and my personal pick. This figure is a Goddess Hylia. This is the most famous theory floating out here for the identity of this figure. However, my opinions on their appearance is slightly different to other theories out there. First of all, I'm going to be going over all the reasonings for this entity being Hylia. This figure seems to have a lot of similarities to the Zelda, or the person we can assume to be Zelda in the cave drawings. This Zelda is shown to have large pointed ears, long hair, and triangles underneath her eyes. Extremely similar to the deity shown in the trailer, you could say. To those who are wondering why that is important, remember that Zelda is a reincarnation of the goddess Hylia when she chose to become mortal. That the similarities are actually proof that this is Hylia. Who else could have these exact mirror-like similarities to a princess? However, there are 3 big issues with this theory, as you might have already discovered while I've been explaining this. Number 1, Hylia no longer exists as she gave up her goddess powers to become mortal. 2, Hylia is never seen in any other form than a Hylian in any other games, so this new form makes no sense for this figure to be Hylia. And number 3, Zelda in Tears of the Kingdom is shown with short hair and no triangles underneath her eyes. So, with these 3 facts, we can confirm that this deity isn't really Hylia, right? Wrong. All of these facts can actually be disproven as being proof against Hylia. The fact that Hylia doesn't exist anymore actually has no relevance to anything, as she is suspected to be the goddess of time and is watching everything from the edge of time. This is actually alluded to in Breath of the Wild, as when you grab 4 spirit orbs and talk to a goddess statue, Hylia speaks to you and offers you a stamina vessel or a heart container. If she does not exist anymore, she wouldn't be able to speak to you. This means that her becoming mortal has no meaning, as for her this is in the past, present, and future, as time does not work the same way for her. Everything is happening simultaneously. The fact that Hylia has never been shown in any other form also has no relevance either, as we've seen multiple characters change their form, most notably Ganondorf when he got his hands on the Triforce of Power, otherwise known as the Power of the Goddesses, and through this was able to transform into the great beast Ganon. If a non-god character can do this with just a sliver of the power of the goddesses, surely the goddess Hylia could transform. Maybe this drawing isn't symbolizing her true form, as it's almost a misdirect. This plotline could also make an interesting yin and yang, with 2 godlike beasts being against each other in the final battle for Hyrule, Ganon versus Beast Hylia. The final point to disprove is that Zelda and the drawing of a female figure have many differences, such as the triangles and hair. There are 2 possibilities that this does not affect the deity being Hylia. Number 1, this could be a Zelda or the same Zelda from another time in the past, or later on in the present or future that we still interact with or fulfill a prophecy. Or Part 2. This drawing is not Zelda at all, or it's actually showing the Hylian version of Hylia. Perhaps the image of Hylian and deity singing together is actually showing that they're one of the same, the Hylian version and the god/beast version of the same entity. This also works if the character is Zelda, as she is a reincarnation of Hylia, so they are one of the same. If the Hylian is Hylia, perhaps the image of her floating over Malice is actually showing an event from the past where she became mortal to have the reincarnations of Zelda in order to defeat Demise. All this evidence makes me think that the entity in the trailer is Hylia. However, my opinion might change as more trailers and footage comes out. Please tell me what you all think in the comments below, and make sure to check out my Tears of the Kingdom Triforce theory next.